Hello, I'm Mithali Singh and I'm currently working as a legal intern at Lexis & Company. Today in this video, I will be giving you an overview of the concept of the nature of Indian Constitution. So we will study what exactly the nature of the Constitution is. Either Constitution is unitary or federal or quasi-federal. So we will start with the basic introduction and then we will study federal features, then unitary features, and then we'll come to the conclusion. Well, there is a huge difference of opinion when it comes to the features of the Indian Constitution or the nature of the Indian Constitution. Some jurists like Kethid where said that India is a quasi-federal, that is similar to the federal system because it has some federal features also, but same time it has some unitary features also. So the jurist like Kethid has said that India is a quasi-federal and the nature of the Indian Constitution is quasi-federal. However, on the other hand, the makers of the Indian Constitution has declared Constitution as a federal. Here they have declared the nature of the Indian Constitution federal because the center has certain powers to override the province. Even Dr. B.R. Ambedkar defined Indian Constitution as a federal constitution. In order to decide whether the Indian Constitution is federal or unitary in nature, it is very important to understand the features of both federal and union. So first we will study or we will discuss the features of federal. So the basic principle of federalism is the division of power. It means that one government at the center and one government at the province level, at the state level. So the center and the states are not subordinate but coordinate with each other. They work independently in their own sphere. So this is the basic principle of federalism. Now we will look into the essential characteristics of a federal constitution. So first is the supremacy of law. That under federal constitution, the law has to be supreme. The law is the supreme power. There is no one and there is nothing above law. Law will be supreme and everyone is bound by law. So therefore, in our constitution also, in Indian constitution also, law is supreme and everyone is governed by the law. In India, the constitution is the supreme law. The term law involves rules, regulations, bylaws, notifications, orders, ordinances, and even the customs having a force of law. A federal state derives its existence from the constitution. Every type of power, be it legislative, administrative or judiciary, irrespective of it being at the center or the state level, is controlled by the constitution or is derived by the constitution. So here the constitution is supreme. So first essential of the federal constitution, which is the supremacy of law, we have in our Indian constitution also, we have in our Indian system also. So first feature is fulfilled. Now second one is the distribution of power. Distribution of power means one government will be at the center and one government will be at the state level. So there has to be the distribution of power under a federal system. So in India also we have distribution of power. The power of the centers are different and the state government and the power of the state government are different. So there is a distribution of power. In federalism, distribution of power forms an important and integral part. Distribution of power between the center and the state and other coordinate bodies present in the constitution. The division of governmental powers into national and regional government is done by the way of three lists, which are union, state and concurrent list. These lists provided in the 7th schedule of the constitution. Only the central government deals with the issues mentioned in the union list. State government legislates on the areas mentioned in the state list, while the concurrent list consists of the subjects where both the central and the state government can function. This concept of the distribution of power has been derived from the Canadian Constitution. The next important characteristics of a federalism is the written constitution. So this states that constitution has to be in a written form. Therefore, in India also, we have written form of constitution. Our constitution is written. It is not oral. It is written. Everything is written and everybody is governed by that constitution. So a federal constitution must be written. Since the federal nature of the constitution involves a lot of contracts, hence it would be impractical not to have these written. Moreover, to maintain the supremacy of the constitution, it is imperative to have a written constitution. And in India we have written constitution. So this feature or this characteristics of federalism is also fulfilled. The next important characteristic of federalism is rigidity. The constitution should be rigid and permanent, that is not easy to amend. A lousy set of the document cannot be said to a federal constitution. The method of the amendment should be rigid, otherwise the basic principle of the constitution would be under threat. So in India also, there is a very long procedure, very difficult procedure to make amendments or to introduce amendment in the constitution. So we can say that Indian constitution is rigid. Here, rigidity does not mean that it cannot be amended. It can be amended, but after long procedure and after taking time and everything, there is a long procedure prescribed for the amendment, and the amendment can be introduced only after following that due process. Now, next characteristic is the authority of the courts. The judiciary has the final authority to interpret the constitution. The rationale for this provision is that an independent tribunal which is authorized to resolve disputes between the center and the state could impartially resolve all the disputes between the center and the state. So there has to be the independent judiciary, or the courts must have the authority under the federalism. And in India also we have a impartial judiciary which solve disputes between the state and center. So here we are done with the characteristics of a federalism. Now in my next video, I will be discussing provisions of the constitution not supporting the federal principle. I will continue this video or this concept in my next video. Till then, please do subscribe to the channel for daily updates.